Hi there, my name is Andrea McWhorter, and I serve as your Family Ministry Director here at Christ Journey.
I'm John McWhorter.
And we have two girls, Sarah and Ellie.
We got married in May 2001, so almost 18 years now. By nature of my industry, it's very seasonal, and I'm a freelancer, so I never really know when I'm working, and it tends to be slow in the summertime. But we went off on honeymoon. We spent a lot of money on the wedding. We spent a lot of money on the honeymoon. So by the time September rolled around,
I came back to a lot of bills.
Yeah, I needed to work. But then September 11th happened, and people weren't traveling. My work is dependent on people coming here to film. And it just so happened that September 11th was also
when I resigned from the former church that I was at, but there was a little bit of transition time.
Right, she didn't come on staff until January. So we had several months where we had no income. And it was really a struggle as newlyweds with a lot of bills. And I sensed that God was telling me to write checks. This is back when people still wrote checks. So he said, write out the checks as the bills come due and mail it out. I'm not a fan of sending out bad checks, but
Neither am I.
we felt pretty strongly that this was something God was telling us to do.
It was hard. It was hard to face those, but you clearly hearing from God, we're to trust God, and I'm going to write out the checks and we're going to put them in the mail, whether that's the tithe check, the FP&L check, the car payment, whatever it is that God's going to provide, but we're going to be obedient and do it.
Yeah.
It was a big step of faith.
Still is.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that. I put a check in the mail. I think we had some bill that was over $200. Well, our $200 check went out in the mail. That same day, a $300 check came back in. That happened another 4 or 5 times. We mailed out a check for $80-something for the power bill, and my aunt sent a little note. We love what you're doing in Miami, and God just put it on my heart to send you $100. Mm-hmm. So for us, at a very early stage of our marriage, it created a foundation of the trust in His provision for us, which has made a huge difference. But my income is still inconsistent, and we don't know month to month, what our real income is going to be, and that's fine. But we know where our provision is.
That's right.
And even now, the way that translates, because we have that foundation, we set our giving based on our expectations of His provision. But we set that based on our budget, 10% of what we're expecting God to provide for us. And sometimes we don't make that, but we still give. But if you know that God is faithful and you realize that and you understand that, and I think the way we came to understand it is by trusting Him and then seeing Him show up. And that just made a real experience for us. It's freeing in a lot of ways. I wouldn't trade that for anything.